So
this is Drew Wilkinson. Drew's played a lot of, on the right here, Drew's played a lot of Magic on these, and of course Mark with himself on his playmat.
Oh, covering up our British Magic Time logo.
I respect it, you know. You want to be, extra camera time, why not?
Yeah.
Why not print yourself on a playmat? Why not? So Drew's played a lot of the Northern League events with Infect in Modern and Legacy. I wonder if he's doing that today.
So what do you think of the Infect Miracles match?
Well, it's an interesting one. They have lots of removal, don't they?
Out of all the Delver-esque decks, Infect is by far the fastest one. So it can kind of steal wins from Miracles, where a lot of the other Delver decks struggle to. It's not as nearly as weak to stuff like Terminus, because it has land. One of its threats is it's land, so it may require them to do a Terminus on their opponent's turn, which is never quite as optimal as if you're just doing it in your own upkeep. So I think Infect is a lot better against the Miracles than you might see from the other similar decks.
Okay. Well, I mean, these players are 1-1. Excuse me. These players are 1-1, which means that the match has been fairly even so far.
Yep.
One would assume. When we were talking about playing Miracles earlier on today, David English choosing not to do that in this tournament.
It looks like Mark has kept a 7, whereas Drew is mulliganing him.
We saw Sam mulligan and lose fairly quickly last match, didn't we?
Yeah, Drew looking at his 6.
We see there Pendlehaven, which is a land we didn't see from Sam, but pumps all of your creatures, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's both a land and it's something you can find with crop rotation as well.
That's always nice.
Crop rotation into a pump spell.
Drew keeping and scrying. How do you feel about the scry rule? We haven't talked about that yet today.
I think it's a huge improvement on the previous one. It just makes it reduces the non-games, as you might say, that the games will all more likely to be proper games of Magic where both people get to play.
Drew leading with his 1-mana artifact, sort of.
So this is the best play from Miracles. It's very lenient on this, on the Sensei's Dividing Top, just smoothing out the draws, making sure they can have the top cards in the right position, and allowing them to cast their Miracles. What are the deck's named after?
We've
Oh, right, okay, sure. I was just going to say.
we've got this exciting opportunity now to see Drew attack with this non-summoning sick Inkmoth Nexus, which is pretty funny. It's essentially
a Sylvan Library.
Okay.
Now this is another way that Infect can pull ahead in the even though it's Miracles is generally favoured in the late game. With a card like Sylvan Library, they can just have more cards.
Yeah.
Mark,
I'd see that.
Mark does have a Force of Will, but he's choosing to let it resolve. Probably maybe saving the Force of Will for the creature, or if it gets into a fight over the stack. That's a 0-mana counter spell. It's obviously really good if you're fighting on the stack where mana is incredibly important.
So we see Blighted Agent, Invigorate. How do you feel about 2 Blighted Agents as Miracles? They don't have a lot of blockers, do they?
No, they don't have many blockers. I think Glistener Elf is probably, or Glistener Elf or Inkmoth Nexus is probably a better threat. But we see Drew just choosing to draw all 3.
We see no Mentors in this Miracles deck. There are 2 Content Priests in the sideboard, which don't come in here.
3 Snapcaster Mage.
3 Snapcaster Mage.
1 Entreat the Angels, and 3 Jace the Mind Sculptor as his win cons.
And a main deck Blood Moon, so obviously quite good against Infect. I wonder if we've seen that so far in the matchup.
And a Keranos, God of Storm post, but I don't imagine it's coming in here, tapping out for 5 mana.
This list is probably good against the Miracles Mirror.
Yeah.
We'll see in the long run how this pans out for Mark.
He's got this deck, the only 3 Terminus, I think it's slightly weaker to the to Infect, but it's still just if you can get the counter top online and stop your opponent from casting spells, that's always good.
That Sylvan Library's already busting my guts.
So Mark worried about his opponent's Sylvan Library, but he has access to Force of Will and Sword Plowshares currently, and his opponent has a creature and a land that can attack in play. I am terrified of Infect. I sit across the table in dread.
It does have
kill me out of nowhere.
It does have that threat when they play a creature and they pass the turn back, and during your turn you're sat there like, am I dead? Am I dead? I have all these cards in hand, but I might just not have the right ones, and I could be dead next turn. There's nothing I can do about it. So and a lot of the combo-esque decks have that feel where it's just you're watching them, you're like, please don't kill me, please don't kill me, and sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't.
So Mark's trying to Snapcaster Agent has access to Sword Plowshares. This might be what Mark was leaving the Force of Will for, to protect his own swords.
But with Drew drawing the other Blight Sage, I think he's completely fine to allow this Swords of Plowshares to resolve and just cast his Blight Agent next turn. He's already got the Inkmoth Nexus as 1 Infect threat and has the other one in hand. So
Threat density is an important part
Yeah,
of...
he's got the threats to be able to. If you just draw one card off that Sylvan Library, then
He did.
plays his land. I think we'll see an activation of the. No activation.
No.
It's just playing another Blight Agent and. That's the turn. His
So
hand
Mark-
does look pretty solid. I think he's got multiple Invigorates, as well as so with 2 Invigorates plus that Pendlehaven does mean that he does have the kill rolled up should he decide to go for it.
Yeah. The old...
We've seen the interaction
KO.
between Fetchlands and Brainstorm already with our round 1, but Sylvan Library interacts just much the same with these.
As does Top.
Fetchlands and Top. So in this format, in Modern, we see Fetchlands just to get the correct mana set up.
And Fatal Push
Yeah,
in Modern.
a whole new dimension to them. But in Legacy, Fetchlands are strategic. They let you choose which cards you want to be drawing, and they're much more powerful than in any other format.
It's fascinating stuff. I believe that subtle interaction is what makes a good Legacy player a great Legacy player.
Yeah,
being aware of and understanding it. And also what makes a good Miracles player an excellent Miracles
Another
player.
card interacts well with the Fetchlands, Ponder.
So Mark knew the top 3. So at this point he's just... I believe he's floating a Terminus ready for Drew to... He wants to put Drew's Ingwathics on the bottom of his library, I believe. So his opportunities are either Snapcaster Sword, but that means that he doesn't have access to Spellpiercer or
Snapcaster
Countermagic.
Sword seems a bit risky considering he'd be tapping out completely and with a deck full of Dazes, Spell Pierces, Vines of the Vastwood, cheap interaction. It's
So his other option is, his back option, or perhaps his plan A, is Terminus.
yeah,
When Drew activates his Igmoth X's and chooses to, go to attacks.
yeah. I think just the mana for Mark seems like if he can get all his mana set up, he should be all right. But unless you can get if he can't get his mana set up, I feel like Drew can overload him, especially because he at the moment has 4 lands and we see a Pithy Needle drawn for Drew, so that naming the top could be pretty powerful.
So stopping Miracles is card selection, and
It's
specifically...
probably the best way. I think I see it the best way of combating the deck. Without the Sensei's Divining Top, the deck is more of a mediocre blue-white control list.
You're right. This Blighted Agent is the 3rd Blighted Agent.
The third, yeah, and he's still not made any attacks for that Inkmoth X. I think with that Sylvan Library and cutting off this Sensei's Divining Top, I think he sees that he can probably just win the long game.
Yeah, okay.
Even though he's playing against the.
Do you think it's because he's
Miracles
drawing
deck.
multiple Blighted Agents, he doesn't want to give up the land to a source to power shares, only to not be able to cast a Blighted Agent
Yeah, I
and
think
pump spells on the
with
turn
the
after?
Blighted Agent being 2 mana, it's got in Legacy 2 mana is much more than they'd consider.
Well,
it
it's
in-
twice as much as 1, isn't it?
Yeah, and so that's quite a lot of investment casting a 2 mana creature in this format. So you want to be keeping up your lands if you're going to be doing that. 4 mana in Legacy is tons compared to how what a lot of games would go, especially in the Infect deck.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how Mark deals with this. I mean, we know we have... So he's tapped his top, shuffled it in, and then let Needle resolve, rather than force the will of Pithy Needle. It might be that Mark believes he's got all the cards in hand that he requires to... In
So
fact, we
I
see
think
a
it's
Wear
Supreme
Tear,
Verdict
which
and a
could be
Wear
very
Tear.
good. Yeah. Killing Sylvan Library and...
Ooh. Sylvan Library and the
However, it leaves you open to a... Yeah. He has to just tear. I think that that line leaves you open to your opponent killing you with their 2 Infect creatures next
Yeah.
turn.
So days on the tear, he pays for it.
Okay.
I'm a bit confused as why he days there, knowing that without any other, it seems like his only counterspell in hand, and I think the permission and protection is being really vital in this. And he just wants the mana as well when he's going to be moving in. I don't think that was particularly necessary to cast the days in that spot. So all of us will get a look at Mark's hand now with this Gataxian Pro.
I believe Mark's hand is Force the Will blue card, Snapcaster Mage.
Snapcaster
Force the Will,
Mage.
Snapcaster Mage.
Snapcaster
And then-
Mage, Supreme Verdict, and
Is that a Blessed Alliance?
Alliance?
Blessed Alliance.
Blessed Alliance, very good against Infect because Carl's like, yeah.
Thank you,
You
Mark.
see him showing up to the screen.
Yes, that is Blessed Alliance. So, yeah.
Only one of the modes I think particularly useful, which is the target player sacrifices an attacking creature. They
Powerful against
don't need
Infect.
to escalate it any more than that, but
You can gain 3 life.
all life.
Oh.
Whoa.
Very nice. It's not relevant to this matchup.
Just the same as your opponent casting an Invigorate.
Oh, okay. So Mark's letting the 2 through, even though like he has the.
He's maybe going to get a bit greedy, trying to see if he can take some of the pump spells.
Yeah. So I think maybe he's right with this.
Snapcaster Sword.
Doing this post-combat to avoid dying to an Finds Fastwood.
Yeah.
So we see Mark here using pump spells on his end step and taking Infect. I think that this is the best way to play against this deck.
Yeah, I think playing your removal spells in combat is much more dangerous. And if it's your first point of Infect, I think taking 2 means very little, so it's much safer just to do it on the end step and take the 2 Infect.
So this isn't the dream for Drew, unfortunately. Mark has access to 2 removal spells in the form of Snapcaster plus Sorcerer Shares.
Plus Supreme Verdict.
Supreme Verdict and Blasted Irons.
It should be quite especially with the Sylvan Library now gone, this is going to be fairly tough for Drew to beat all the
recoup, especially since he's paid so much life for the Sylvan Library that these 2 Snapcasters are going to kill him
Yeah,
quickly.
it's only
Attack
3
for
more
4.
turns.
Mark getting on the aggro plan. Playing his Goblin Pikers and attacking.
Probes and Fetch Lands and Sylvan Library activations are starting to... is that a Piracy Charm we see? That is a
spicy Piracy Charm. Well, it could kill a Snapcaster potentially.
Kill a Snapcaster, make a Glistener Elf unblockable.
Yeah.
Or just pump a Glistener Elf.
Yeah. So I like Piracy Charm. I think we've seen it in his list before.
So the 3 cards he's got left in hand, I believe, are...
It should be pointed out that he has boarded it in here.
And 1 unknown. Is it the Force of Will? Westline Supreme Verdict Force of Will is the last cards in... So you see activation of a Inkmoth Nexus.
So
no fear of the Blessed Alliance. You might see another... Is there another Swords of Plowshares in the graveyard for
end of
Mark?
combat. Yeah. So Mark is choosing to let combat damage resolve, and then in
this spot, because Blessed Alliance doesn't actually target the creature, I don't see any reason to cast it post-combat as opposed to before damage. So there's not any spells that can get you, whereas it still would save you the points of Infect.
I suppose that Mark might have wanted Drew to tap out.
Maybe, perhaps, yeah, if you could tap out and get more pump spells. But when you're targeting the creature, there's
Drew's
obviously
fine.
reasons.
Yeah,
And
2 blockers
Drew
and he
just
doesn't.
draws no Infect.
Snapcaster beats.
Yeah, Snapcaster beats assisted by the Sylvan Library.
Mark pointing out that this matchup is
saying
difficult
about the Sylvan Library, it means your life in total means nothing against miracles, and then it's what ended up killing him in the end.
Clearly. So fascinating matchup. I think that's not always going to go that way.
No.
We hear Mark there lamenting as this is a difficult matchup for this build of this deck. He's not playing Mentor to block.
Some versions of miracles of the deck you can change a lot of the cards
massively.
around.
There's a lot of flex slots.
You can make it. You can gear it towards a certain deck, and I feel like this is geared more towards the
control mirror.
The miracles and the shardless decks of the world, rather than the Infect or...
Well, he's actually low on win conditions. I mean, we saw him beat down with Snapcasters today, but that can't be the plan every game.
No, it's Snapcaster or Entreat or Jace, none of which are the fastest of kills, but they all get the job done eventually.
Yeah, we're interested in just hearing players discuss the meta game.
Yeah, they're
I
just
like
discussing the how the matchup generally goes. I imagine both players will have, if they will have played this matchup, if they've played their deck a lot. I imagine that you play against every tournament you go to, you'll see a fair few miracles and a number of Infect decks. Just them being both big players in the format.
Well, Drew's played a lot of Infect, that's definitely true. And Mark's played a lot of miracles, so it's good to hear that they've got solid opinions on this. And
yeah.
Moving into round 3, what are you looking for? Sorry.
So,
what are you looking forward to seeing?
So now we're halfway through the legacy portion of
We've
this
had a
list.
good list of. I mean, we've seen Infect twice. We've seen miracles.
Yeah.
We've seen the 4-color Cascade deck, and then also Alluring and Eldrazi. So we've seen a real mix of the meta so far.
Maybe looking for some kind of, I don't know, maybe some kind of Delver deck. I always like seeing the way that they play out because the way they churn through the deck faster than any other, all the ponders and brainstorms. I think it'd be interesting to see some of especially when people like high-level players when they're playing the Delver decks. It's really interesting to watch.
Well, there's a lot of really difficult decisions there, and oftentimes you don't know if you got path A or path B. you don't often know if path A or path B is correct until 3
Yeah.
turns down the line. And if you're looking back, there's a lot of hindsight play with Delver.
It's like, but when it's two Delver decks playing against each other, every tiny decision matters.
Matters so much.
The land you play on turn 1 could shape the entire game, and it's just that intense highlight play which requires the skill involved. I find some of the most interesting to watch.
It's important to note that we've had some Twitch chat feedback. I think our hair is fine. Thank you very
I had a
much.
haircut only last week, thank you very much, Dan Latin.
Dan
This is pretty much
You know
as
what?
short as it goes.
I mean, you know,
Maybe
less,
for
less
him,
hatred.
but not for me.
Less hatred.
Yeah.
Well, my hair's glorious.
We'll block the haters out from all this.
Block the haters. No, yeah, so we've watched a lot of Legacy so far. We're looking forward to 2 more rounds of Legacy and being able to offer you guys at home, more exciting matchups like that.